up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. My name is V and I do videos about relationships and self-improvement. So if you want to see more of that, make sure that you subscribe. What's up? Y'all saw the title, so I'm not going to hold y'all long. I'm not going to keep y'all for a long while. I'm just going to give you some good advice on when you need to run for the hills. So if you want to see more of that, make sure that you keep on watching. Now we're going to start off number one, what I feel is the most important reason for you to leave a relationship, and that is abuse. If this person is verbally or physically abusive to you, you need to leave. And you don't need 6 months to a year to figure out how many black eyes you need to take before you leave. Now that's easier said than done, but on a serious note, if a person is being abusive to you, fighting you, or belittling you, making you feel like you're nothing, you're worthless, you need to walk away from their relationship. You need to plan it out, because it can be hard getting away from an abuser because they know what they're doing. They're strategic with their abuse. You know, it usually happens in phases, so they've already planned it out themselves. So you have to come up with a plan to escape and get out of that situation. Reach out to the resources around you. And everywhere in the world, there is a domestic violence helpline, domestic violence hotline. Find out whether there's shelter near for anybody experiencing domestic violence and get out of that situation. Get help. Most abusers will eventually either kill you or hurt you seriously in some type of way. So I know this firsthand, not from me being abused, but being a child. Being a child and growing up with a mom who was abused. So get out of that situation as fast as you can, as safely as you can. All right, the next reason why you need to walk away from that relationship, not walk, but run, is if y'all have had several failed discussions. You've talked to this person and you've told them what the issue is, and you giving them time to adjust, because the relationship is between two people. So you can't just spew out to that person what you want in a relationship. Oh, you need to do this. Oh, you need to do that. And then it's not in agreement with what they want to do. So that's why it's called a discussion. So both of you come together and you talk about it. You give that person time to adjust to that. You know, if they agree upon it, and then you give them time to adjust to it. But if you continually having this discussion, they're agreeing to it and they're not showing any change, you need to leave, because they're showing you how much they respect you right then and there. And if a person cannot respect you, you do not need to be with them. Why would you continually, repeatedly have these discussions about the same thing? Now, I'm not saying this issue happened January. Y'all talked about it and that person is just into it. Well, another issue popped up and this issue happened in August, and you talked about it and they're just into that. Okay, no, not in that instances. I mean in the instances where you told this person, this bothers me. X, Y, and Z bothers me. And they told you, you know what? I'm sorry about that. I don't want that to bother you. We're going to work on it. And that happened in January. And now here come March, it come up again. Here come the next month, it come up again. And then here come the end of the year, it come up again. If it was me, we wouldn't even make it through all of those times of them repeatedly disrespecting me over and over again. If you love me, you agree to what we talked about, then you need to show change. I'm going to give you time to show the change, but you need to show some type of improvement. If it's repeatedly, constantly, that you're telling this person the same thing over and over, something that they agreed that they were going to change, and they are not showing any difference or any effort, then you need to run away from that situation. Do you know that if it's reported that a person is being neglected, that person could go to jail? Like if you have your grandmother and you're taking care of her and she's not getting the things that she really needs and that's required, do you know that person can go to jail for neglect? Yeah, that person can go to jail for neglect. And that's what I feel should happen to anyone that's in a relationship and they're neglecting their partner. Just as that person will go to jail from neglecting their kids or neglecting an elderly person, people need to go to jail from neglecting their partners in relationships. If you're being constantly neglected in your relationship, you need to run away from that relationship, because I feel like I look at relationships like jobs. meaning that you need to put in effort. You don't just show up on your job and expect to get a paycheck, right? I don't know, maybe some of y'all probably do that. Y'all probably go to work and be like, where my check at? But I'm saying, like, realistically, like, you only getting in what you putting out. So if you're the partner in a relationship and you're constantly putting in 100% into this relationship and the other person is not putting anything, not showing any efforts, you need to leave that relationship. They're neglecting you. They would get fired on their job. So fire them in real life. Fire them in that relationship and let them go. Let them get the stepping. Matter of fact, pack all this stuff, put it by the door or outside the door if you're rolling like me, and tell them, go wherever they're putting their efforts. Wherever you're putting your efforts, that's where you need to be with you and your belongings. And if they don't leave with you and they do not live with you, you just let them know that. Listen, I don't want to waste any more of your time. This is what you're going to tell them. I don't want to waste any more of your time. I think that you should go wherever you're putting your efforts. Or if you're not putting your efforts anyway, then maybe you need some alone time to be with yourself to find out how I'm feeling. How I'm feeling like I'm alone by myself since you've been neglecting me. So, that's the reason. Being neglected is the reason to run away from a relationship. It's constantly, continually, habitually lying all the time. Some people have some underlying issues, some tragic stuff that happened in their lives, trust issues, all kind of things going on with them that may be causing them to be these liars. But honey, mister, you are not a truth fairy. You are not a fountain of truth. You are not going to make this person just wake up one day and start telling you the truth, even though that's probably the only thing that you want from them. If they are just a liar, you caught them cheating and they say, you know what, I'm not going to cheat anymore. Then 2 weeks later, you back in the same boat. They are a liar. They're not going to change by you trying to make them change. People will change when they're ready to change, or when they're ready to address whatever underlying issues that they may have that's causing them to have that behavior. But you shouldn't be the person that's getting broken down into little bitty pieces while they're still developing or figuring themselves out. That's not how it works in a relationship. That's why I always say, don't get in a relationship with somebody trying to work on yourself and develop yourself to be a good partner to them. No, you need to stay out of that relationship. Don't bring somebody else down while you trying to build yourself up. Like, don't break this person down. You still lying and scheming, and it's not anything to do with them. It's just that you have some personal issues that you need to address. Address those personal issues first, then get into a relationship. Because if you don't, you're gonna miss out on beautiful people. You're gonna miss out on maybe that one that would have been the one, because you just were not ready for that. So anyway, if someone is lying to you continually over and over and over, you need to let them go. You need to run out of that relationship. A lot of us really, really love our kids, or we really, really love our parents, our moms, our fathers, our grandparents. Okay? Just as you really, really love your kids, would you allow anyone to mistreat them, to treat them horribly, to neglect them, to continually lie to them in their face, to abuse them? Would you allow that? Would you allow someone to do that to them? No, you would not allow that. And just as the thought of that may make you angry and frustrated and just like, oh wow, I would never allow such a thing to happen. That's the energy that you need to have when thinking about yourself in a relationship. Because you need to love yourself just as much as you love your kids or your grandparents. And that's why I always stress self-love. Because if you love yourself, you're not going to allow all these things to happen. And it's hard to be in love with someone and just let them go. But when you really truly love yourself and know what you deserve, it's not that hard at all. You just like, you know what? Vamos, because I love myself more. Keep that same energy. A lot of us, I like to use that as an example, because when it comes to us, we think it's okay for us to be a punching bag. But then when it comes to our kids, our loved ones, we like, oh, heck no, I'm not standing for that. So that's why I like to use that example. because it's easier to see it when you put it on somebody else. And you say, well, it's not that bad. Yeah, he slapped me that one time, but it wasn't that bad. Well, would you let somebody slap your child? No, you wouldn't. Would you let somebody walk up to your mother or your father and just slap them? No, you wouldn't. If you knew there was someone present in their lives that was continually lying to them, what would you do? Okay, exactly. Take that same energy and apply that to yourself. You know, it's you making that decision. Yes, it's hard, but it's doable. And with the abuse, like I said, you need to plan that out. You need to be strategic and you need to be specific. Call that 1-800 hotline. Look that up on your phone. If you're on YouTube, then you can definitely go on Google and look up that number. Call. Set it up where you can get some type of way to get away from this abuser. And to me, all of it is a form of abuse. Somebody neglecting you, somebody lying to you, somebody agreeing that they're going to change and not changing. All of that to me is abuse. And I'm not getting abused. I'm just not here for that. I'm here to be loved. I'm going to give love out to the world, and I know that's going to come right back to me. So if you're wondering, should you walk away and any of that applies, I empower you on today to leave that situation and let it go. You deserve abundance. You deserve love the way that you want love, and healthy love. That is what you deserve. And you can have that. But you know, sometimes you have to make room. Sometimes all these bad relationships that we're in, they're just stopping us from being in a great relationship. It can happen just like that. You can say, you know, you can decide today and say, you know what, this relationship does not serve me. This relationship is not good for me. You know, and I'm going to leave this relationship alone. Walk out into the world. And because you have made space in your life, God can bless you and put somebody in your life that will love you the way that you want to be loved. Thank y'all so much for watching this video, for tuning in with me. I really, really appreciate it. If you guys have any advice, any encouraging words to anybody that may be experiencing any of the things that we talked about, please leave a comment below and let them know that, you know, and if you experience any of that, any abuse or being neglected of constantly telling somebody something, or being with a habitual liar, leave a comment and let people know that they can overcome those situations and that, you know, there are good things ahead of them. Well, thank y'all so much, and I love y'all.